Every voice has a story, every truth has a spark, and our my 2 cents drops wisdom that lights up the dark. Breaking it down, just facts and soul, with that smooth talking rhythm in full control. In case you didn't know, she's got something to say. From headlines to heartlines, every single day. Tune in, lean in, let that insight flow. It's real talk, deep cuts on with the show. Mic on fire with a take you won't miss. No fluff, no fear, just truth in the mix. She's the voice in the static, the calm in the noise, dropping knowledge like jewels, reclaiming the voice. Late night or morning glow, you'll feel it in your bones the way she flows. Hard truth, soft landing, all in her tone. She makes you feel a little less alone. In case you didn't know, it's more than a part. It's perspective, connection, and lifting the fog. So plug and press play, let the good vibes go. You've got a friend in your feet, now you know.
Hey y'all, let me know if you can hear me before I get started. Let me know if y'all can hear me before I get started. How y'all Sunday been? Okay, good. Happy Sunday. How y'all Sunday been? Okay, hey Terry. Hey Angela, Snooky, protect your peace. Hey Lila. Hey Felicia, Spicy Brown. Hey Admire Me, LaRonda. I'm not gonna be on here long. I know everybody following this saga know everything that's been going on. And just when you think that it can't get worse, it always gets worse, and it'll never quiet down. And we all already know that Latoya's husband, OB, is the bottom of the barrel. How he comes out here and how he does anything. Okay, beloved, how he does anything for a coin, how they do anything for cash apps. It's not just him, it's her too. And I don't really like talking about stuff like this on my channel, but when I see innocent babies keep being ridiculed, and people, grown ass women in the comment, grown ass people in the comments cheering it on, that's irritating and it's ignorant as hell. Hey, Cancer 66. Admire Me. This guy named OB, he went live again today, and he was talking about, I'm not sure if you've been following everything, but he was talking about Kevin's baby, and his baby has Down syndrome. So he was talking about that again today and making a mockery of a child with Down syndrome And then you have all these old ass women in the comment and in the chat cheering them on. And that's so disgusting to me. And what they do to me is called, I think it's modern day cooning. Back in the day when white people used to make black people act like that for their entertainment, they didn't have a choice. But now we have a choice. We don't have to come live and coon like that. But you see, some people, that's all they got going for themselves because they don't have nothing going for themselves. So they come out and they try to come up at other people's expense. And this time it's at the expense of that child. And I think that's wrong. I don't agree with it. I would never be in nobody comments condoning that. And it's sad. It is time to keep him to have him removed from this app protector piece because hey Lachelle, exactly. They need to, if they cannot move, it's like they can't move on. They'll go quiet. But at this point, you got to think and you got to know that it's for Cash App. They cooning out here for Cash App. And if they have not realized now that these people are not your real supporters, if you're not talking about your family, if he's not talking about your family, then they do not Cash App and they do not do all of that. He got a GoFundMe up right now because they put out there that he lost his job. If these people were really concerned about their well-being, they would have met that goal in one day. But when I looked yesterday, it was at 175. So that goes to show these people don't really support them like that. You all just entertainment for them. And they're not laughing with you, they laughing at you all because of their hate for your family and your siblings. That's why they will pay you all to clown them. It's not because they support y'all. Y'all are not among real supporters. And the first chance you all stop dragging Kevin, his children, Latruth, Don, and the whole family, they'll go right back to dragging you all and your family and your children. Um, I heard this morning. I cannot watch him like that, but I heard him. He was talking about upper and any man. I mean, a real man is not going to speak on a woman like that. They're just not. Give me a second. Let me see. What both of them doing, not just him. It's called modern day cooning. And what modern day cooning is, it's among a certain group of people, and it can be used to describe someone behaving inappropriately and arrogantly. And Obi gets up there and he acts so arrogant, thinking he's being funny and thinking that he's on top of the world. But it's a person that acts inappropriately or arrogantly, often in a derogatory manner. A person that displays this behavior is usually seeking a reward, like laughter, adoration, money, etc., etc. Rather, they seek the attention and a sense of belonging because of insecurities that they have within themselves. And everybody knows that this man, as Amber said in her live earlier, has little man syndrome. He has little man syndrome because you just don't find real men. Hey, Alexis. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Cancer 66. You just don't find real men that go out there and behave in this manner. Nothing is right about that. And can you all imagine, like Boo Love said, this man speaking like that about his wife's siblings and her family? He cannot have no love for her because if they don't get along, it has nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. So by him speaking about her family and her nephew like that, and she's sitting beside him condoning that, and then wanting to say that he's taken up and it's on her behalf. No, that's not on your behalf. This man cares nothing for you because if he did, he would not speak disparagingly on your family. He would respect her enough to stay out of whatever they have going on because in the end, blood is thicker than water. Give me just a moment. I don't want to get behind in the chats. Hey, Josephine, when you don't respect your mother, man will never respect. Exactly. Exactly. Give me just a second. I'm looking for a clip. Hey, everybody coming in the chat.
Fact, he's not trying to marry you. A man that does not love you has no respect for your family. He's going to disrespect every member in your family. I'm talking about a man that is not afraid to talk back at your parent. It could be your mother, your father, your aunt, elderly folks that raise you up. So a man that does not love you has nothing to lose. As a matter of fact, he's not trying to marry you. He's not trying to stay within that family. So he doesn't respect the people. So keep that in mind. This is very simple, but these are things that people tend to neglect. Love itself is a respectful language. So if you claim to love someone, if you claim to love a woman, you have to love everything about her. That includes her family. Now, I'm not saying that you have to accept everything the family throws at you, because there are some family that are problematic. There are some family that don't mind their business. There are some family that are just so intrusive. So you can respect them, you can put them in their place without being disrespectful. So a man that does not love you will disrespect your family and does not care. A man that does not love you has no.
I don't care where you look, guys. Wherever you look and you put that in a search engine, it's going to say if a person disrespects the other person's family, that means that they don't love that person. Because if they love that person, they would love their family with all their flaws and all. For him to speak the way he speaks on this girl's family and her to be okay with it, it speaks volumes, because she can't really love her family if she's allowing that. I I felt some kind of way for real, y'all, when I keep hearing this man get up there and try to clown an innocent baby. And when you say little man syndrome, yes, that's what he has. He's very um insecure in himself. Whatever he has going on, he is not happy with choices that he made in his own life. That's why he tried to point out flaws in other people. But the Bible says before you can move a speck out of the neighbor's eye, you have to pull the plank out your own eye. So how is he going to look at everybody else and try to talk down on everybody else when he got all this stuff going on? Won't keep a job, don't help his wife, allowing his wife to get on social media and beg strangers. So he got too many flaws within his own life to be on here trying to pick apart somebody else's life. Somebody else that's not worried about him. Somebody else that's moved to a whole nother country and is doing the damn thing, if you want to be for real. Somebody else that's doing big things. You know what I'm saying? So how you all gonna try to pick apart somebody that's doing way better than you all in life? Is it jealousy? This man needs to lose that whole platform, because they're not doing anything good with it. This says the psychology of putting others down, unmasking the motivations. At the heart of belittling behavior often lies a complex web of psychological factors. One of the primary drivers is low self-esteem and insecurity. Paradoxically, those who put others down frequently struggle with their own sense of self-worth. Self-worth. By diminishing others, they can create an illusion of superiority, temporarily boosting their fragile ego. So when you see him doing this, it's because he feels that Kevin is superior to him. He can get on here and talk about Kevin ain't hitting on shit. Excuse me, y'all. Kevin ain't hitting on nothing. Latruth ain't hitting on nothing. Talking about just degrading them. But when you look at it, what do they really have going on? So it's a sense of jealousy. It's something about them that draws jealousy. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. He has her right where he wants her, away from her family. All you have is him. So you think, and now he has no idea she does not. She does not have no idea the position he has put her in. And then what the thing was raised in this. Yeah, he was raised in the street and jail, and that's sad. And it's sad for her to allow this man to come between her family when her family has been the one that's been 10 toes down with her. This man, from what I understand, has never stepped up to be a man, to take care of his family, to take care of his children. She's always had to go outside the house to get money to make ends meet because she was married to a deadbeat and still is to this day. He'd rather get on this internet and coon her family. He ain't joking on his family. He's joking on her. He's not joking on his family. He's out there joking on her family. And how can she show her teeth just sitting beside him while he's doing that? I don't understand that dynamic at all. It's okay if we get out here and clown my family for us to make money. My husband would never. But when I see him, and every time I see him on the internet, this is what I think of. And this, modern day. When you find a person that would do anything for money, nobody's to be spared. Nobody. And why she thinking it's why is her family this day? When you like, she thinking it's funny, right? He's out here clowning her brothers. He's out here clowning her nephew, her deceased mother. He's making all of these analogies about her family. And when that stopped bringing in coins, what's to make him think? What's to make her think that he's not going to turn and start talking about her, joking on her to get the cash apps? And for him, she was so easy to turn against her family and go against her family. What makes him think that she won't do the same thing to him? They're a match made in heaven. I looked up, I put in people that will do anything for money, and this is what came up. It says mercenary. A mercenary is a person who works for money and other material rewards, often at the expense of ethics. Then it says venal, prepared to do dishonest or immoral things in return for money. And then it says a rogue is someone who is dishonest and unscrupulous, often for personal gain. Greedy, a person who is willing to do anything, ethical or not, for what they want. And it says these terms capture the essence of someone who is willing to compromise their morals or principles for financial gain. Hey, Krisha. I can't stay in their lives when they're doing that, but I caught enough of it to see where he, when he was talking about that baby again, and then Baddie Redd tries to come and try to defend him. Don't nobody deserve to have their job called. But when you look at it, who's to say, I don't know who called, but who's to say it wasn't somebody on that side that called? They play those games. Who's to say he even lost his job because somebody called? Because when you're coming out here, you never know who your audience is. And while the ones in the comments thought it was funny about him talking about that baby, you do have people that are in your chat that don't agree with that. they may have had a special needs child. Some of your supporters might have special needs children, and then you mocking them. You could have triggered something in one of your own supporters. So when you do stuff like that, you can't do it. You cannot bring narrow it down to, well, Robert supporters called, my brother's supporters called and made OB lose his job. It could have been one of your own supporters. Because let me tell you, if I own the company, I would never hire nobody like OB. I would never. I would be the kind that look at your social media to see how you carry yourself on social media before I made a hiring decision. Because what you put forth in your company, that's going to represent you. You represent who you hire is a representation of that company. And I would never hire some of these people on this internet to represent my company. You only as good as the culture in your company. Hey, Protective Peace. I didn't watch it. You would have gotten mad. Hey, Danny, you would have gotten mad, corporate. Just like we got triggered when we watched the first one, it was the same thing. He trashed me. I won't waste my time. Thank you, Krisha. Hey, Linda. Hey, Pam. He said, exactly. He said they not hitting on nothing, but they not going in people's inbox and begging for $5 and begging for $20. But they're not hitting on nothing. So you have to be careful what you put out there and what you say about people, because like when you point your finger at somebody else, it's four more pointing back at you. And like I say, Kevin and Latruth are not on the internet begging. They are. They're known on both sides for begging. She keep letting him drag on that because she's afraid to be alone. He couldn't do nothing. Exactly. Exactly. Ain't no way no ninja that I date would talk mess to me. Like, you may do it behind closed doors, but I'm gonna check that. But you damn sure ain't gonna get on social media and clown my family. You're just not gonna do that. Hey, Candy Kisses. And I think she is afraid of being alone because she has self-esteem issues. Because if he feels like that about your family and that's your blood and that's a product of you, he feels the same way about you. She won't get it through her head. And she thinks that he's coming forth defending her. I would not want that kind of defense. Why he won't come forth and talk about his family? You don't see him downgrading and talking about his family. And I bet they got worse problems than her. He's a loser, he's a bum, he's a criminal, he's a woman beater. Yes, he's all of the above. And it's on black and white. And then the way he gets out here and act, that part, he's a hoodlum. Hi, he belongs in a circle somewhere. I would never go for that. Go that far online. I would not allow my husband to act like a child. Some children act more mature. Exactly. Hey, Arlene. Exactly. I don't get it. The more these people cash out, and he'll pause and tell them, I ain't saying nothing else until y'all send me some cash out. That lets you know it's all for money, it's all for show. And she's letting them do that at the expense of her family. Get out here and talk about his family, because he can't do that because his family don't have the clout. And the reason he's doing her family like that is because the brand, the name. Hey, it's Cara, baby. Hey, Pammy Pooh. Hey, Dreamy Girl. And then everybody that don't agree with that and don't agree with how he acts, he likes to get up there and start talking about him. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I heard him speaking some disparaging things about you, all because people don't agree with what they're doing. And nothing cute about what they're doing. They ain't doing nothing but getting out here cooning. Back in the day, like I said, when people were cooning, white people made them do it. Now it's so many black people get out here and act like that on this app. I be watching TikTok sometimes, and I be watching sometimes where the YouTubers be giving reactions. And I hate to see a white person give a reaction on us out here acting ignorant. I hate that. It just reminds me of back in the day, the blackface and the cooning and getting out here shucking and jiving um, to gain favor with master. But now OB doing it for cash out, for adoration. People don't think these jobs work. They don't. They do not think these. I made my social media. I made my pages private because one of our teammates got fired about 2 months ago on my job because the media, the person that's over media, and they be trying to go on our social medias. They found a post that was not what they call that didn't line up with the values of the company, and they fired them. But when they hire us, we have to sign off on a contract saying that we would be respectful and our social media would line up with the values of the company. And when I saw that they really did do that, and she inboxed me and said they let her go because of something she put on social media, I was like, wow. I made mine private at that point. Well, if he was smoking weed on the job, they may have smelled it on him. What kind of habit you have when you can? Exactly, exactly. But who's to say that he got fired because somebody called a job? That could have been one of his own doing, but we would never know because we do know that she embellishes. She don't she over exaggerates the truth. Thank you, Ronithia, for the super chat. Hey, I'm chosen Dreamy Girl. I'm sorry, I was reading a text. Those people over there and how they uphold that and how they cheer that on, they just like he is. And I hate to say this because if y'all know, I don't really like talking about people, but the way of their behavior and a lot of people that I've seen on this Latruth story and a lot of these comments that I've seen on this Latruth story, these people are belly crawling, mud eating. They mud eaters. They thank you, Miss White, for the super. I'll get to it in a minute. But they are mud crawlers. They you cannot get no lower than them. And I don't even like talking about people like that because I feel like all of us have our flaws. But even if we have our flaws, we keep them behind the scenes. We don't come forward trying to get laughs and trying to do that at at a baby's expense. Grown-ups can defend themselves. But when you start talking about children and when you're doing that against children that cannot fight an adult, that just shows how low a person is. Hey, everybody coming in the chat. Thank you, I'm chosen. Thank you, Candy Kisses, for the super sticker. And the thing I've never seen, like a lot of this stuff, and I know y'all know it, a lot of this stuff is like something we've never seen. I was talking to another content creator yesterday. We had a pretty decent conversation. And we were talking about the people we was talking about. I, I think that was her upper that I talked to, and she was saying that a lot of this stuff is done for money. I don't know who we were talking about, but yeah, a lot of it is done for money. But when you show that side, this man right here, right, he cannot have family love like he tried to say he has because he's been in and out of jail since his youth. 15 years old, getting in trouble. He could not have had a daddy figure. Or if he had a daddy figure, it had to come from a disruptive household, just like the one he's in now. Because the way he does this stuff and those children be around, you're raising your children to be just like that. You're not putting any boundaries around your children. The way you acting online, you raising a household of future people to come online acting like that because they don't see nothing wrong with it because their parents doing it. You're not giving them nothing positive to look forward to. You're not trying to set a foundation for them. A foundation for your children is to get out, get a job, and have a real steady home. Not no home moving every so many months. Not no home waiting on the government to take care of you. But Trump is changing that. So what's going to happen when Trump changes that? Is it going to get worse, or is this what we're going to get used to? This going to be y'all new normal? But after a while, talking about Kevin Latruth, and that's going to get old. Then what's it going to be? You're going to keep talking about the content creators that don't agree with how y'all acting? At some point, you're going to have to take responsibility for yourselves and get jobs and take care of your own needs. Because had not Brianna did what she did, we would not know who you all were. And what would you be doing then? Who would you be asking for the money then? Would you have turned on Kevin and Robert then? If none of this had happened and you all were living your day-to-day lives and nobody knew who you were still, would you still be acting like this? Would it be going on behind the scenes? No, because it's going on now because it's an audience. If you didn't have this audience, y'all wouldn't be acting like this. And I strongly believe this. If you didn't have an audience of onlookers and people cheering you on, you all wouldn't be acting like this. But because people are cheering you on and because people are paying you super chats, cash apps, Zales, whatever they paying you, y'all feel like it's okay because y'all got people that are paying to hear that, so it must be all right. No, it's not all right. These people paying you all to downgrade your family. These people are not your real supporters. And the sooner you all realize that these are not your supporters, they just helping you all destroy yourselves. You all destroying yourselves. Y'all destroying your livelihoods all for cash apps and super stickers. I believe he's trying to pull Kevin out of character to end up with charges. I hope Kevin sees what he's trying to do too. And I wish he would just ignore him. But I know when it comes to your children, certain things you cannot ignore. But OB does not deserve a response. OB can go out and he can go out and mow grass. Let me tell you, when people start out, they start out small. They start out small. But when people build their businesses cutting grass, those end up being six-figure businesses if you have the tenacity to stick with it. People look at mowing grass as a Mexican job, and that's not true. I know some black guy, one of my husband's friends, I say ex-friends, but it used to be my husband's friend when he was living. Hey, big Florida, $3. And he started out small. He had about 15 yards that he did when he first lost his job. And he did a very good job. And within a 2-year period, he had a truck, a trailer, one of those what you call the lawnmowers with the front zero-turn mowers. His company really grew. And now he has like three of those box trucks and got about 15, 20 workers working for him. And he did that. He was like, I'm not working for nobody else because I'm tired of working and getting laid off. So mowing yards is a good thing. Ask them people to give you some money to buy a lawnmower so you can start cutting grass. At least that's money you'll make every day. You don't have to get out here asking other people for money. He is very heartless, a demon walking. Candy kisses, you have been missed. He can't hurt my feelings. Kevin say he walked in on him hitting the booger sugar. Don't be. I heard about that. And I think that something's going on to make him get on here and act like that, because normal people do not act like that. You don't see normal people hitting the live button acting like that. Blood is thicker than water. Life lessons made me elevate. Blood is thicker than water. Life lessons made me reevaluate. Some be on different blood types, O, A, B, ABs, with some being negative and positive. I stick with blood, make you related and loyal to makes your family. That sucks. Yeah, he does win. But I normally I really don't speak on stuff like this because that is family. And I'm not speaking about her. I'm speaking on him, her spouse, and he's only adding fuel to the fire and she's allowing him to. And she it's like she's getting her feed off of him. I think if he was not around, she would let this thing go. But because he's around and he's directing from the background, I think that's why that live button keeps getting hit. And they keep talking about Kevin and he keeps talking about that baby. It's I think school is fixing to start back, and when school's getting ready to start back, they haven't been wise with their money. So now they need school clothes. So now we're gonna come back up and bring all this stuff back up because we need money right now. The last time I heard that when they came forward, it was because he had a fine he had to go pay off. It is very convenient that when he went to pay off that fine, he came live the day before, 2 days before, and then got up enough money to go pay off the fine. So it's a money thing. When it's something due, they said we're gonna go hit the live button and get some super chat. And those are the idiots that keep doing it. Somebody screenshot him smoking outside the home and send it to the job. But boy, you're so stupid. She gonna say they don't mind the weed, but they lied and said it was cocaine. That's so stupid. If if weed is not legal in a state and you get caught smoking it on the job, you're gonna lose that job. I'm in the trees watching. Good evening to y'all. Bless you. Thank you, DS Island. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Nina. Excuse me. It is gonna get old. Then what are they gonna do? They're gonna, you know what? Y'all know what though? It's never gonna die down because they go from talking about Kevin, then Latruth to do something, then they go to talk about Latruth, then they start bringing Don, but they just recycling the story. So it's never gonna end. There's a word from Robert that always stuck with me. It's called integrity. Exactly, and they have none. They have absolutely no integrity. I don't think, honestly, that he wants to work, y'all. Because if he wanted to work, instead of him hitting the live button, he would be out there looking for a job. When a person really want to work on a real job, they would carry themselves in a manner to show that they want to work. But they both of them on this internet acting like loose cannons. They degrading the supporters. They degrading their the family, her family. He's degrading her family. She's degrading her family. And like I say, how can he trust that what she's doing to her flesh and blood, she won't do to him? And he's only telling her how he really feels about her by going after her family because her family is a part of her. You don't see her on here talking about his mom. You don't see her on here talking about his family. But it's okay for him to get on here and dog hers out at will. And then got all these subscribers because he's on here dogging out her family. So you got 1,500 people that want to watch him dog out Kevin and Robert, but they say Robert and Kevin ain't hitting on nothing. They not the clout. Evidently, they are the clout because you got 1,500 subscribers off their back by talking about them. They not coming to see that boring ass rap. They not coming for that. They coming because you dogging out Robert and Kevin. And for some reason, or we already know the reason, they're the most hated people on YouTube, looks like. That's why Obi said he's going to live on Kevin every day, even if you don't respond, because he... Exactly. I didn't know he said that, but that's why he's doing it. That Percy and Odessa bullshit is not so funny until it's a shame. My son made a business out of it and he gets exactly cutting grass. It has a lot of money, but he's not trying to do no real work. In America, don't take advantage of it. Trump is trying to block us from the career. We got a lot of opportunities, but yep, you're right. A lot of them don't take advantage of the opportunities. Hey, Virgo goddess. Hey, Nola Bunny. I think they have been reporting it, but nothing happens. I wish YouTube had the same integrity as these jobs and would go down and audit some of these channels. And if these channels are not in line with their so-called core values, they delete them. But it's a money thing to them. Cutting grass is not bad, but a real man will do anything for his family to keep from begging other people on social media. Exactly, love me for real. A real man would get it by the sweat of his brows. But we're not talking about a real man. We're talking about a little boy because, number one, a real man would not be on social media behaving in such a way. It would be embarrassing to them. But they don't have sense enough to be embarrassed. I'm not blaming him. At some point in life, women who are mothers need to be strong enough to let go of a man who are not contributing to the family,
American
accepting toxic
what fragrance
situations.
would they wear?
Exactly.
Let's start with the original Batman.
Exactly. And I wonder why she puts up with that, because he does not. I don't know why he puts up that. Tommy don't want no job. He don't, creature. Super chats and super stickers are welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Dreamy Girl. He's still at it. Them folks killed two birds with one stone. Honestly, they still don't like them. Haven't forgotten what they were drilled about before them. Getting him fired made it look like RH supporters was a home run and keeps the fighting going. That's what I said. I said the same thing. I think that the reason I wouldn't put it past them to do that for Robert supporters to get blamed for that. I wouldn't put it past them. How can you just say it was Robert supporters that did it when you had beef with that side too? And it showed, and it a proof that they don't really rock with you like that is when you not talking about your brothers. They don't rock with you. They don't come in your cooking videos. They don't come on your clowning videos. The only thing that's getting views over there is when you dogging your family out. Joanne said, "Baby Meek is an innocent, born, blessed, love, and don't deserve to be." Exactly. Beautiful little baby. If I was a supporter, I would not have been a supporter after that. I stopped following her a long time ago. I used to support her. I stopped following her a long time ago when I heard her whisper in that video to ask people for cash apps. She was whispering to her daughter to ask for cash apps. I stopped following her then. But if I was still a supporter when her husband did that, and I have an autistic grandson, I would have stopped supporting too. Then OB, I heard that. I can't say yep, it's me. I pray Kevin don't give them no more attention. Let them keep going in circles, recycling. And they're gonna keep dissecting everything that he does over there. But if I was him, I would keep living my best life and let them keep hating, because they over here in the States looking for something to hate on. Thank you, Candy. Hey, Missy. Yep, it's me. I tried to GoFundMe, but I didn't see a way because I didn't donate. Me as well. I dropped it like a bad habit. Yep, and it was not because of this mess that's going on now. I had been unfollowed because I don't like that. Let people give from their hearts. You cannot expect nobody to give every time you go live. You can't expect that. It's good for the ones that decide, okay, I'm gonna bless you today. It's a blessing, but you cannot just expect people every time you hit the live button to give, because they have their own livelihoods. They have their own bills to pay. Then she said she have a job, so why come to the internet ask for money as a single parent? Work overtime, make things happen for your kids. Exactly. I don't even have any little kids. And anybody that talks to me on the back end, they'll tell you I work I work well last week, every day last week. Some people had me working 11 and a half hours Monday to Friday. I griped about it, but I did it because I need my job. A lot of us don't want to work, but we know we have to. But shoot, anybody that if we had our way, we would choose not to work. Thank you. My friends on the back end will tell you it's a lot of days I be wanting to call out, but I get my ass up and go on because I know I need my job. I can't get on here asking nobody to give me money to pay my bills. And all my children grown, it's just me. He's poking the bear, and I'm praying Kevin keep looking above for guidance. OB is on here reflecting the actions. He is. That is what he's doing. And Kevin is bigger than that. I looked at a little bit of Creases live, and I've been watching the live. I've just been in the bushes just looking while I be doing stuff. I be listening. And I went, somebody in the comment said he was live. So I went over there and looked at it, and I was like, oh, hell no. There he go again. There he goes again. And then he says the most degrading stuff about women. When you find a man that don't respect a woman and he's married to one, that means he don't respect her. Some of the stuff that he's saying about this woman, I know he got to be behind the scenes talking real reckless to her. It gives abuse and afraid. Like, ain't no way that little man would disrespect me like that. Ain't no way. I would not allow it. But I was looking at one of their lives one day. I wasn't looking at it. I just clicked on and clicked off, and she was beside him. She does not even look comfortable when he's talking about her family like that. She looks like she be cringing. And she can come on here and say that she cannot control what he says. No, you cannot. But if you put up with it, you're giving him the okay to dog your family out. If you put up with it, you're giving him the okay to disrespect you. If you put up with it, you're giving him the okay to disrespect your children, because he's doing all of that. When he disrespect your family and disrespect your deceased mother, disrespect your nephew, he's disrespecting your children because that's their blood. And that's your blood. So he's disrespecting you as well. And they like to say, if I like it, I love it. But that's not fair to those children, because he's talking about your children's cousins' parents. He's talking about your children's grandmother. He's talking about your children's uncles, aunt. And you're scarring the relationship that they had with their first cousins because you got a reckless ass man out here talking about their parents, talking about their brothers, talking about their cousins. But you okay it because you think he's defending you. He's not defending you. That kind of actions belittle you. It shows that he cares nothing about you. Because you can smile for the cameras, but I know that don't feel good. This man talking about your family like that. It can't feel good. Because somewhere deep down, you know, if that's how he feel about your blood, somewhere down there, that's how he feel about you. And you can't change that. He showed the world how he feels. He can say, don't be talking about my wife and don't be doing this. You're not defending your wife. Deep down somewhere, this is how you feel about her too. Because they share the same parents, mom and dad. So if you feel this way about her siblings and her other family, you feel the same way about her. Family don't have money all the time to help us. Exactly. Exactly. When her family stopped being useful for her, she flipped the script. And if it's that easy to flip the script because you're not benefiting from a situation no more, it's gonna be so easy for you to turn on OB. It's gonna be so easy for OB to turn on you. When Kevin is not profitable anymore, his name, when the truth name is not profitable anymore, when these subs, when you're going off on them, it's not profitable anymore. When the content creators are not profitable anymore, what's left? Each other. Get on here and dog each other out. And it ain't gonna be long. She gonna get sick of it. And he's gonna be either dogging her out on social media or she's gonna be dogging him out. It's coming because they're the type that would do anything for money. They've shown that they have no integrity because the live button is not meant for every situation, especially when it comes to family matters. The live button is not meant to air out secrets. The live button is not meant to try to embarrass your family, try to make a profit off your family. But they can't see that because they don't have any values. Money is their value. They love money. And the love of that money is why they putting forth all this evil. I wish I would give my hard-earned money to my siblings the way my exactly wrote down. There's no way I better exactly. And I let me tell you something. I damn sure ain't finna give my money to my sister. And if my sister was still living and she married somebody and he ain't doing nothing to help and she got to keep coming to me and he hadn't tried, I'm not fixing to give up my money for that. No, you spread your hustle. Either he go out there and get it or y'all do without. One of y'all work 2 jobs, but I'm not fixing to take care of y'all households and this ninja won't work. I'm not gonna do it. Now, if this man was out there doing his best, and you were doing your best, and y'all still fall short, then yes. But when ain't neither one of y'all hitting a lick at a pie factory, hell no. It's going to backfire. It is going to backfire in a dangerous way because they play in dangerous games. And some games you cannot play and expect a good outcome. You cannot. They making a lot of enemies out here. And they don't put all their business out here. People know all of their business. And just say they making a lot of enemies. And if that did happen and the people call their job, who else are the people calling? This is why they stuck at a standstill, because the way they going about it, you got to work. In this world, in this word, it states the man don't work, don't eat. Exactly. If a man don't work, they don't eat. And it also says a man's supposed to work by the sweat of his eyebrow. OB Nola Bunny said, OB never been profitable. She allows him to be comfortable while she beg every day. Exactly. But real people, like people that are not caught up in bringing Latruth and Kevin down and don't hate Kevin and Latruth, they're not going to give no money to that. Because they looking at it like you got a whole man, a whole grown man in that household. And the whole grown man needs to get a job and take care of his family. I would not feel, if I were a man and I found out my wife was on the internet asking people for something, number one, I'm going to stop that because it's embarrassing. To a real man, that's embarrassing. To a real man, they don't want their wives going out to the world on social media. Anybody can see it, asking strangers for money. Their friends gonna clown them. Man, you can't take care of your household, your wife on the internet begging. But do they have friends? Because if they had real friends around them, the friends would tell them this is not a good look. Y'all need to pull back from social media because that's not a good look. But when you have hood rats around you, and when you have people around you that condone this behavior and enable this behavior, you think you're doing the right thing. That's okay, Lachelle. I figured it out. Life challenge. I would never come to this internet and dog my brothers and sisters. You never know when you'll need them again. She said she know that God, she know God, but God is love. Where's the love? Exactly. Hey, Truth Slayer. Y'all know. Y'all, I know why extra skin, the Credible Hub, kept changing her because she got someone on the panel helping her lie. Huh? Oh. Oh, she's live now, Lexi. The truth is revealing right in front of them, and they don't even know it, or do they care? And they don't. They do not. What happens? Okay, YouTube already made some changes to the way we get paid, right? What happens? And what's gonna happen when they make more changes and make more changes and make it harder and harder to get the money? Facebook already making changes, and I read today they're getting ready to make even more changes. Now they've already taken away the ability to make money. So what's going to happen when these platforms change the way they make money? I keep stressing this. And this is what you giving up your integrity, giving up your character, giving up who you are to impress people. This is what you're doing all that for. So what's going to happen when the money stop coming in from these platforms and you done got out there and the internet is undefeated? Even though you all erased that live this morning, I'm sure people still have it. So that's gonna be out there about you. What this is your stamp. And you go to a job. Yeah, you can get a job. You'll never have a career because your mindset won't let you have a career. Yeah, you'll make minimum wage, $10, maybe even $15. And in today's society, that's not going to be enough because them Republicans fight hard to keep you grounded at that minimum wage. They don't even want to make minimum wage $15. So if you could get lucky and get a job for $15 an hour in today's society, that still ain't enough. Because when Trump stops this free rent, he already done put it in that beautiful bill he just passed. So when it hits North Carolina and you start having to pay your rent, that $15 an hour is not going to be a lot. You're going to be like the rest of us. Then you're going to have to get two jobs. So when social media falls off and you got to come to the real world like everybody else, and your character has been messed up. So instead of trying to better yourself, you're trying to make a social media stamp. What you going to do? Be homeless? Or are you all going to buckle down and do like regular folks do? Work two jobs if they can't make ends meet. Work three jobs if they can't make ends meet. Stop wasting the money and put that money toward rent, light bill, and everything else like everybody else. But when you're destroying your character out here and can't find a job, when these jobs start looking at your social media platform, even the smaller jobs start looking at your social media platform, and you got that stamp on your social media, that stamp on your reputation, and you can't get a job, what you gonna live under the bridge? I don't know if there's any bridges in North Carolina, but what you gonna do? The worst thing that these platforms could have done, like when Latruth started on his platform, when he started Latruth did not, it wasn't monetized yet. He was just doing it because he liked doing it. But once it became monetized, that's the worst thing they could have done. Because now I see the more ignorant people are, the more people throw money at them. Were you all in that live the first time she came out and they had to keep switching cash apps and switching cash apps because they was on here doing all that ignorant cussing and talking about her siblings? Social media it pays for drama. So people that ain't used to nothing, they gonna come out here and give it to them. But what's going to happen when all of this goes away? Even if she couldn't control him, laughing and talking about her nephew is condoning. Exactly, she's condoning it. I'm sure they talk offline. And she may have asked him not to speak on that baby, but when you got a person like that, that the more he see people laughing in the chat, and the more he see people the more he see people laughing in the chat, the more cash apps they sending, he doubles down and he kicking in third gear, thinking he's being funny, but he's not. Money rules him, not good sense and not wisdom. He's ruled by money, and money shows just how ignorant he is. She's going through stuff now because God doesn't like ugly. Exactly. That's what she does. She's always a victim, never a victimizer. That's what I'm saying, Alexis. That's what I'm saying. Soon as a while to get rid of him, she's gonna see how he owes. Yeah, if a person is not bringing value to your life, if a person's not bringing value to your life but devaluing you, he's devaluing himself, but in the process, he's devaluing her too. So when a person is doing that and devaluing themselves, in the process devaluing you and not adding value to your life, but he's actually causing you to be disgraced and disgraceful, and it's time to let them go. It's time to let them go. You don't need that. Sometimes the way you carry yourself, that determines the type of person that is attracted to you. And I think that she got what she is. She condones everything he does because he defending their family. Is he defending their family? That's what she says, but I don't think he's defending their family. But what the fuck was funny about him calling the baby those next names? Exactly. Was nothing funny about it. Only idiots thought that was funny. And then I did a video about that, and somebody gonna put in my comments, well, she shouldn't have talked about his family. She shouldn't have talked about his son. What he's no, it was said Kevin shouldn't have talked about his son being gay because, like me, if you come from my children, all hats are off. No, Kevin did not say the son was gay. What Kevin said was, if my son is gay, then your son is gay. How about that? So evidently it was said that his was gay first, and Kevin put it out there, well, if my son gay, then your son gay. But they leave off the first part because they manipulators. They trying to manipulate the public to just say, oh, Kevin came out of nowhere and said my son gay. No, he did not. You all insinuated first, and he said, if my son is gay, then your son is gay. I can't believe they made a GoFundMe to help OB provide for his family like he ain't been providing. That is why you stay begging. Exactly. Exactly. This man is not providing. Because if he was providing like they say, they wouldn't need to come on the internet and clown for Cash App. He would not have to come on here and degrade her family for Cash App. Mm. Mm-mm. I'm reading the comments, y'all. I'm sorry. And my thing is, what's the big deal? Okay, he lost his job, so what? Evidently, that job wasn't providing. I'm piggybacking off that last comment, this comment right here. Evidently, the job wasn't providing because even with the job, he was still on the internet begging. So, what's the so what? He lost his job. It wasn't bringing nothing into the home. From what I understood, well, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, it wasn't bringing nothing into the home because if it was, you wouldn't have been in people inboxing asking for catch up. All I gotta say, if y'all want to keep up the fighting, and I know I can't tell grown people what to do, But if y'all gonna keep up this fighting, just keep the babies out of it. Children, they got shit to do with this. Hey, Miss Sexy Ray, Christina, Jakeisha, Jaisha, and True Slayer, Christina, Joanne Wilson. I think he mad she can't get any more money from her brother. Exactly. And now that's why he's degrading them because all this while looks like they've been married. The brother's been carrying his load. It, they've been picking up the slack on her end, on his end. He didn't have to do nothing because the brothers did it. He mad now because he actually got to get a job because the brothers pulled back. That's nasty work when you got to get mad because you got to work and take care of your family and still
Adam
don't take
West,
care of them when you get
Batman of
paid.
the 60s. He was
Y'all remember when he gave her some money to get her nails done, how happy she was to get your nails done? That's high school. You got my grandson was in high school paying for his girlfriend to get her nails done off of his part-time job, paying for her to get her feet done. He was only using his check to make the plug, pay the plug. Yep, exactly. Hey, Alexis. Hey, motherly love. I'm Michaela. Anybody want to come up and say something? I'm gonna drop the link again. But one thing about it, y'all, that baby that he loves to speak on, have a lot of praying people that's praying for him. God don't like ugly. And he does all of that, but best believe he gonna see it again. He's gonna see it again because any little thing can happen. One good lick in the head, you might be raising a disabled child. You yourself can become disabled. A car accident, anything. You can eat the wrong foods and become disabled. So it's not necessarily being born that way. It's a lot of people that were born normal that have disabilities now because of a car accident, a swimming accident, got hit in the head, a wrong football hit, sport injury. So anything can make you disabled. So you have to mind what you say and mind what you put in the atmosphere because God don't like ugly, especially against his innocent children. God don't like ugly. You never know when one day the table may be turned and you may be in a wheelchair or you may be slobbering at the mouth because you got a brain injury. So it's very ignorant to put stuff out there. And it's very ignorant to act like that when you act like it's not a God that sits high and watches everything. It's funny now, but will it be funny when you drooling at the mouth because you fell out of job and hit your head? Will it be funny if your wife was in a car accident and became paralyzed? Will it be funny if one of your kids got injured in sports or something happened to them and they become disabled? God has a funny way of teaching you lessons. So you have to mind what you put your mouth on and how you put your mouth on things. Money and pet is or my monthly budget. Who is just waiting for? Exactly. Exactly. That's stuff you can pay for yourself. Which I hate when grown folks get in situations and don't know the story, just jumping in half cocked. And when the CCs that know the whole story speak out, they ready for war on the outside looking in. Exactly, Dorothy. Like yesterday, Baddie Redd did that live and she called for Latruth supporters. And she had not even seen what caused that. And she does not even know the full story because she has not been following it. Like I said earlier, it could have been the true supporters. It may not have been true supporters because they have been at odds with both sides. And we do know that those people like to set people up to make it appear a certain way. Or how do we know that it's true? Because she said it. How do we know that they did not smell that smell on him when he went back to work? So because she said it so don't make it so. Because she said she's being bullied. She said that she's claimed she has accused a number of people on here for stuff that they didn't do. So because she said it does not make it true, because she does tend to exaggerate things that go on when it's a known record of stuff. What bothers me about these people, they just say what come out, void facts, void receipts. They say they have receipts, but they don't have the receipts. And people eat it up and buy it like it's like it happened for real. She was born found out. Exactly. Long before he lost his job. My husband is a very good man. I've been married to him for over 30 years and he had a master. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Anything can happen to make you be disabled. So it's not fun to mock the disabled, especially a baby. Because you might be walking today and you may be disabled tomorrow. Do you know how a stroke will leave somebody disfigured? It will leave their mouth twisted. It will leave the eye hanging. So isn't and when that mouth is twisted, here comes the drool. So you have to be careful what you say about people. You have to be careful how you mock people, calling people fat. And then it be the ones that don't look in the mirror that's always degrading everybody else and talking about how everybody else look when they haven't had a good hard look at themselves. I'm not gonna say how he looks because he looks in the mirror every day. And those are the ones that feel so insecure that they have to try to come at other people's look and come at what other people look like to make themselves seem like they superior to that person and make the other person feel inferior to them. It can happen to anyone. Thank you, Candy Kisses. Any donations I will greatly appreciate. It can happen. It can happen to anybody. Before my mom died, she had a massive stroke in 20. She was walking fine. She had a massive stroke December 5th, 2023, 2022. It left her wheelchair bound. It didn't do the changes to her face and all that, but she had lost mobility of her legs. It left her wheelchair bound. She could never even stand up. We had to lift her. We had to do everything for her. But before that, she was fine. She was walking on her own. Money is the root of all evil. It is. The love of money is the root of all evil, and we do know these people love money. Hey, Valencia, if I miss speaking to anybody, I'm sorry. Y'all don't know that she's saying do everything, breathe, do, Donna, do everybody, everything and lie. Bree say the sister's saying now. Someone bullying her kids, harassing her. Her brothers got batteries and people back. Bree said it. Exactly. And that's a lie. Her brothers don't make nobody do nothing. Only 5 more super chats to go. Hey, my 2 cents. Oh, help my 2 cents. I'll appreciate it, y'all, if y'all help me make my goal or get close to it. Hey, Christina. That's another reason why you help people, because if you don't get down, you won't want other people to help you. That's another reason why you help people, because if you get down, you want other. Exactly. I had 3 mini strokes and my mouth twisted on both sides, but thank God, but both sides, but God healed me. And that's good, Nina, because I've seen people that go through the therapy, like my husband's mother. When she had her first stroke, she had 11 strokes in her life. And when she had her first stroke, she had a little twist on her mouth, but she went through what they call it, rehabilitation, and they worked with her and it ended up back normal. Hey, you changed me. She ended up back normal. We weren't speaking when she passed away, but they say she had 2 more strokes. Thank you, Christina, for the super sticker. Yeah, but she that's why I say you never know what God has in store for you. And when God says vengeance is his, and then he says, touch not my little ones. and you come out here and do it, that shows that either you ignorant or you just don't believe in God or you just don't give a F. And I think he's all three: ignorant, don't know the word, and just don't give a F. Give a F. So I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take to get through to them too. Because you dare go live and disagree with what they're doing, they're gonna go live and call you every name in the book. I really don't care because I know me. I know who I am. You can say whatever you want to say about me. I already know I'm overweight. That won't hurt my feelings. But one thing I do know is not right to talk about a child. It's not right to talk about nobody's deceased loved ones. None of that shit is right. So you going live defending it, it still don't make it right. Only the minions in the chat think it's funny. But let somebody talk about their disabled child. Let somebody talk about their deceased parent. They wouldn't like it one bit, but why laugh because somebody else's expense? It just shows how ignorant they are for sitting in the chat listening to it. And it shows how double ignorant they are for paying to hear it. All because you don't like this man, it's okay for somebody to clown his son. It's okay for somebody to clown his wives, and they wives ain't got nothing. They said nothing to nobody, but that's okay. When you start taking children and making children off limits, why pick on that one over and over? These people act like they have lost their everlasting minds on this internet. It's like they don't have nothing to think with anymore. Because if they were not getting paid, y'all, would they act like this? Everybody, all of them is getting on here saying all these disparaging things. If they were not making money, would they be acting like this? I don't think so. But y'all, I'm about to get off. I just saw that this morning, and I saw them degrading Upper, and I then Baddie Redd coming out here defending that, not knowing what she's talking about, not knowing the history, and she lost a lot of supporters yesterday because of that. Because she called for Latruth supporters, and then when they got there and was trying to catch her up with what they were saying, she stood 10 toes down. And the fact that his job shouldn't have been called, like she just automatically assumed, believed that it was Latruth supporters because Toya said so. And if she had been following this whole thing, she would have known it could have been Latruth supporters. It could have been Brianna supporters, because they play games like that. You don't just jump head first into something you don't know what you're talking about. And then when they was trying to tell her, she cussing them out, putting them out the chat, doing all of that. So it was a lot that I watched this weekend, and y'all know me, I have to come and put my 2 cents in, but I am about to end this live, guys. You all have a great Sunday. Rest of your Sunday is almost over. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my shower and get ready for bed and get ready for work in the morning. I will go live tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I always thank everybody for joining my lives. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate everybody that sent me a super sticker or super chat. Protect your peace. Thank you. Lila, thank you. Ronithia, thank you. Candy Kisses, thank you. Chandrika, I appreciate it. And Christina, thank you. Love y'all, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I probably won't be talking about this though. I want to talk about these conspiracy theories, and why these people come up with all these conspiracy theories when somebody died. Like, people can't just die anymore. When they die, they try to look for every reason other than the reason that they put out that they died. And I'm talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner. I have heard so many conspiracy theories about his death, and nobody's considering that his family, this man's family, is mourning. And then they're coming up with all of this theories, all of these theories. If people want news, I'm gonna tell y'all now, if y'all want the truth, don't come to YouTube. Don't come to YouTube because you got so many opinions about stuff, and then they be speaking like they know it's fact. I got a friend that I have to argue with all the time because he keeps saying R. Kelly getting out of jail. They can R. Kelly out. They don't approve him to get out because somebody on YouTube said it. I told him, man, if you don't watch the news and stop telling me this crap YouTube said, that's just, I told him that's people just like me on my channel that have their opinion about things. But no, he was arguing me down that R. Kelly was going to get out by the end of last year, all because YouTube said it. So, hey, Aisha, I was getting ready to get off now, baby. I think Lexi had a live schedule, Christina. And thank you, Candy Kisses. Did I thank you for my super? I did. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate all of you all again. Have a good evening. And like I said, I'm going live tomorrow about conspiracy theories. Bye, y'all.